Hello and welcome to my marksmanship guide for patch 7.0.3 in Legion. My name is Cerberus and I'm here to show you how to play your hunter to maximum value. This guide is separated into different sections. To quickly jump to a specific one, click the title on the screen. First we will go over the optimal talent setting as they are core to playing your hunter correctly. For talents at level 15 we got the choices between Lone Wolf, Steady Focus and Careful Aim. Since none of the bosses in the current raid environment got any mechanics that will keep the health permanent above 80%, Careful Aim is out. Steady Focus seems neat, but DPS wise it's inferior to Lone Wolf, and Lone Wolf also gives us the opportunity to get rid of a buggy NPC called Pet. Lone Wolf it is. In the second row we got Lock and Load, Black Arrow and True Aim. Spoiler alert, we take Lock and Load as it's pretty neat to get 2 free aim shots as instants. Black Arrow is also quite viable, but requires you to kill a target for yourself, not your raid, to reset its cooldown, which unfortunately is not really consistently doable. True Aim may have a chance on single target, but as soon as there are 2 mobs involved, it's plain not worth it. Row number 3, the choice is yours. These talents can be picked by preference, since they don't got shit to do with your DPS. However, Fast Rider seems quite unreliable and often will let you down in disappointment, and Dash doesn't really help, as it only extends one speed bonus and doesn't add a new one. My recommendation is Post Haste, as this basically makes a Disengage a quite useful speed cooldown, and it also removes any snares, which might help you out in raids. In the middle row we got some interesting choices between Explosive Shot, Sentinel and Patient Sniper. Sentinel is a chance to defeat bad RNG on multiple targets for donating the buff you need for your marked shot, but unfortunately it falls behind with Explosive Shot as Patient Sniper is just overpowered. It's more or less permanent DPS boost by 150% for nearly all your marked and aimed shots. Remember when I said you got choices? I lied. For level 75 we got pure vanity talents. The only one that really provides raid utility although is Binding Shot. Wyvern Sting is really just not needed, as there are mages and rogues around every corner to do the job of CCing enemies better than you. I would go with Binding Shot, but it's all up to you because it doesn't affect your DPS. Second to last we have a Murder of Crows, Barrage and Volley. This is the only row where you may switch talents for the boss you are fighting. As soon as there is more than one mob involved, Barrage clearly pulls ahead, even if they resent 20% nerf on it. And for pure single target fights like Neandra or Yurzok, a Murder of Crows is slightly better. Volley is just not worth it because there is no fight in the current raid where it pulls ahead of Barrage. And for the last row we have Sidewinders, Piercing Shot and Trick Shot. Sidewinders should be the choice of yours, since Piercing Shot is just bad for single target and Trick Shot seems to have fled again from the dumpster. Blizzard should put it back there. The Relic's kill tree is pretty simple. As for every class, you should try to get to your goldens as fast as possible, as they provide solid DPS enhancement. The best way to do so is to move to the left, till we reach Mark of the Windrunner, go up to Gust of the Wind and from there straight to the right side to Bullseye. So we get our first golden trait at 16 points. Then we move back to Gust of the Wind and go to the left for Legacy of the Windrunners. Second trait is therefore at 20 points spent. Lastly we go to Call of the Hunter via the precision points, making it 24 points to get your last great trait. Now you should go Quick Shot and after that Critical Focus, as they are the last 2 left to increase DPS. Now grab your 3 ranks of Healing Shell and follow it up with Survival of the Fittest. Simple as that. Now we move forward to our stat priority. First things first, there are no crit, haste or any other caps for hunters, so just get as much of the stats as possible. The priority reads as follows: Mastery, greater agility, greater haste, greater critical strike, greater versatility. Mastery the agility straight increase DPS. Haste refills your focus faster and lowers the cooldown on all your abilities. Crit is here for the high numbers, and versatility should also increase damage, but it seems Blizzard forgot about to add enough damage on this one. To enhance your gear you will use the following enchants: Mark of the Hidden Satyr for your neck, Binding of Agility, that's plus 200 agility is your choice for the back, and the rings want some of the Binding of Mastery, that provides plus 200 mastery. The gems also follow the stat priority, so you just use one Saber's Eye of Agility for plus 200 agility, and stack the other ones with Masterful Shadow Ruby with plus 150 mastery. For consumables you want the following buffs: Flask of the 7th Demon and Nightborn Delicate Plater, make sure those are up at any given time in the raid. And for pot and pre-pot you want Potion of Deadly Grace. For the newer player, a pre-pot is the use of a new pot 1 to 2 seconds before the actual fight starts, as the usage of pots is limited to 1 per fight. This way you can use 2 pots per encounter. A quick side note: if you use your Engineering Belt enchant, it will set the pot on cooldown, so don't. Also make sure to always carry some ancient healing potion with you, as they are stronger than a health stone and can save you from death many times. So the rotation of the hunter follows the rule, simple to learn, hard to master. As I want you to do as much DPS as possible, we will use every increase of DPS we can possibly find on hunter. Our main concentration should lie on the vulnerable buff, and to get the maximum value out of it. The buff allows you to increase the damage of aimed and marked shots by 150% and increase crit chance of aimed shots by 6%. This effect is triggered by Wind Burst, Marked Shot and Sidewinders. We also got a second buff called Hunter's Mark, which allows us to use a marked shot on our target. We can get Hunter's Mark by using a marking target's proc with a Sidewinders on one or more enemies. So that might all sound a bit overwhelming, but let's go down and get simplified. You basically want to always have the vulnerable buff and get as much aimed shots off while the enemies got blighted. To break this down for you. First, use marked shot when it's available and vulnerable is running out. Second, cast barrage. Third, cast aimed shot when the enemy got vulnerable. Fourth, use wind burst. Fifth, cast sidewinders when it procs or you have reached 2 stacks and are not focus capped. If focus capped, just use a marked shot till at least below around 100 focus. Your main and only damage cooldown is Trueshot. It guarantees to throw a hunter's mark on your enemies while using sidewinders, and you also gain 40% increased haste for 15 seconds. Use it on cooldown or to burst down specific mechanics in raids. Defensive cooldowns got revamped with Legion. You now have Aspect of the Turtle, which shields you for 8 seconds and reduces dots on you by 30%, and one heal called Exfoliation, which heals you for 30% health. And now I show you how to engage in a fight in a raid environment. First, you want to make sure that you got a flask and a well-fed buff from your buff food. Secondly, 2 seconds before the encounter starts, you use a potion. And the next step is to precast Wind Burst. After that, you want to use a Trueshot Macro or use Trueshot and right-click the boss for an auto attack. Don't worry, we'll come back to the macros in just a few minutes. The next step is to cast Barrage. After that, cast Sidewinders. After that, cast Marked Shot. Now just use your aimed shot till you are focus staffed. After that, just Sidewinders again. Aimed shot till you get 2 seconds on the vulnerable buff, and now you use a marked shot, and now you proceed with your normal rotation. Here are some tips to get some additional damage in encounters. Try to target enemies below 20% to stack up the bullseye buff for additional crit. Try to target the farthest enemy, so when you use Sidewinders or Barrage, you hit all the enemies you possibly can. Try not to focus cap, as it will lose your focus overall and will lose damage therefore. Use a marked shot while enemy got the vulnerable buff and not afterwards, because you will lose massive DPS. Now we forward to the macro section. You will find every macro I show you here in the description of the video to simply copy paste it. First off, we got the Trueshot Macro. You can replace your Trueshot in your boss with it. It's simply just a start attack and a Trueshot in a mix, so you don't have to right click the enemy anymore. Next one, we got the CancelAura Macro. That's an extra button for your boss, so you can quickly cancel your turtle and proceed DPSing when the defense is no longer needed. Next up we got the Feign Death Macro, as sometimes Feign Death won't work right because you may casting something. This one replaces your Feign Death in action bar. Now we also got a CounterShot Macro, so basically this one will counter your current target, or if you have a focus target, counter that focus target. For the last macro we got an easy misdirection and focus or Mouseover. So basically you can just use your tank as a focus, or you could mouse over your tank. If you want other macros or feel like you need another one, feel free to write down in the comments and I will gladly help you or build you one. Now we are moving to the add-ons section. There are several add-ons I can recommend as a raider in general, and some I would recommend hunters only. Here I got some raiders add-ons you should definitely have before joining a pack. First, deadly boss mods or bigwigs. They both share their usability and it's useless for you to have both installed. Lately bigwigs is doing a little bit better since DBM got some fail calls, but in general you need only one of them two for callouts in raids. Second, we got the Exorcist raid tools. It adds some nice alerts you don't go by DBM and supplies you with a raid-wide node. Most guilds use it alone for that purpose. Third, GTFO. This add-on is simple. Loud sound when you stand in shit. Even for experienced raiders and players a good add-on, as sometimes you get hit by fire and you are not directly standing in it, but the zone of it is bugs around. Fourth, we got a weak auras too. This add-on seems quite overwhelming, but don't worry, all servers got you there. We have a simple strings for the hunter section in a few minutes. Basically it tracks and displays buffs, debuffs and pretty much anything you want it for. Fifth, tidy plates. Enhanced nameplates. I personally love the style and I used to make it nameplates bigger when the enemy hits 20% and my bullseye is ready to get fed. 6. Pawn. This add-on is top to compare items that just dropped in the raid, as it calculates if it's an upgrade or not by adding up the stats and the worth for your spec. You will find the exact values to fill in the description. 7. Scatter. You should be able to see your DPS in comparison to others, and you can check on specific abilities and how they worked out for you in the fight. 8. Quartz. Super neat cast bar of you, your enemy and even your focus target. Absolutely love it, and you can customize it as you like. And now we got the only hunter head on. It's JCHB. This is the big focus bar in the middle of my screen that you just saw. You can use it to call out interrupts, misdirections and track your focus. It can also show procs and focus you will reach if you full cast a specific ability. Quite useful for predicting your focus, development and managing your focus. Weak aura streaks. So basically, you can use this program to import useful weak auras from other players in your raid or from websites where you read your guides, but we will just talk about the hunter specifics one now. You can either import them from my description or follow these easy steps to do your own weak auras real quick. To create for example Hunter's Mark, you type /WA. Now click on New, click icon, now name it as you want, change the text to %B for the remaining time on the debuff. Switch to trigger, go to aura name and type in Hunter's Mark and OK. Change the unit to target. Now you can slide it around wherever you want to have it displayed, and voila, just close your window and it will stay there in fight forever. Overall, Marksman Hunter is one of the best specs out there for the current patch, and it's quite interesting to play. MM is used best in single target encounters and excels in encounters with many enemies spread out. Sometimes you get unlucky, but that's thank God not too often. I hope you enjoyed this guide, and if you did, just leave me a like, a nice comment or even a sweet subscribe. If you dislike it, please tell me on what to improve and where I failed your expectations. If you have any questions or hunter related stuff, just ask me, I may have an answer for you. Happy hunting!